From the NBA, they have announced that they will introduce HGH blood testing effective for the 2015-2016 season. I can't say I know a ton about their
Human
drug
growth
testing,
hormone.
but just drug testing policies from the NBA's perspective. I feel like it's not something that's traditionally in the news. You talk about it in football, you talk about it in cycling, you talk about it in baseball, you talk about it in running and track and field, but the NBA, HGH, what do you make of something like that?
I don't think the Players Association will have any problems with it because, as you mentioned, performance-enhancing drugs, steroids have not been an issue in the NBA. Maybe we'd find out something. I know this. I'm very close to one of the players in baseball. I'll just leave it at that. And he's taken the blood test, and he said, it's real simple, it's real easy, and if you don't take it, you don't have to worry about it. I would say 99.5% of the NBA players don't and haven't used steroids.
They have more of a problem with recreational drugs in the NBA than they do with performance-enhancing drugs. And the union would be foolish to deny it, meaning deny the testing, because just about every other sport is doing the testing right now. I mean, it would be guilt by association or guilt by denial. So yeah, I'm fine with it. You know, I have somewhat of a defeatist attitude though when it comes to this stuff, because much like criminals who figure out how to crack safes, they're always one step ahead. You know, they're already on in baseball. They're already on to something else besides HGH and the other conventional performance enhancing drugs. I think the big thing though, and especially if you look at a sport like cycling, the peloton is not at all clean, but they're not so doped to the gills that they're having these massive advantages, and maybe that's the biggest thing that's changed over the last few years is that yes, you obviously still have people who are cheating, and you hear those isolated stories, and you always will, but it's just not maybe, I don't want to say as prevalent, but the advantage that you get from doing it is maybe not quite as great as it used to be.
I used to travel with a team, a pro basketball team, and this goes back in the 70s, and it wasn't in Denver, it was in Memphis, and I walked down the hallway. I was on the same floor with a bunch of the players, which I thought was kind of stupid that they put media on the same floor, and you could smell marijuana wafting from the room. So it's all, recreational drugs, particularly marijuana, has always been prevalent in the NBA. There have been players, former players, who've said as many as 75% of the players.
I had a GM tell me 80%. Actually. So. Dan, thanks.
Guys, thanks so much.
All right, Dan Petty, the digital director of sports for the Denver Post. He's with us every day to talk about what's trending now at denverpost.com.